Hi guys, so I am here and I'm going to be reviewing the 5th episode of Loki. Okay, I'm gonna have this be a spoilers video because I would assume if you're on the 5th episode of Loki, you have watched like the series, so in the 5th episode of Loki. So I'm just gonna not have a non-spoiler section, I'm just gonna go into spoilers, so this will be a spoiler video, and I'll get into spoilers when I start talking about the TV episode. But yeah, my overall thoughts over the show so far were that it was really great and it is so much fun. This is such a chaotic show, but I love it and I'm so happy about it. So now I'm gonna go into the show. So this is like actual spoilers for the 5th episode. So if you don't want to be spoiled for the 5th episode, completely understand. Come back to this video after you've watched the 5th episode. I'm gonna start it in 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's go. I love this episode. The whole thing with like the other Lokis was done so well, and how like child Loki killed Thor was so cool. The alligator was just so, I loved alligator Loki. Alligator Loki was so funny, so funny. And then Mobius came back and we got to see Mobius and Sylvie together and I loved their dynamic. And then Mobius, Sylvie, and Loki together, they are the best, not the best trio, but one of the best trios I think Marvel has ever had. Like, I loved them. They're so good. They were so good. They were so much fun to watch together and they worked off each other's energy so well, and I loved that part of this episode. Just Sylvie and Loki are such good friends. They're so sweet. I love them so much. It was so cool to see them together, and I was so happy that we got to see Mobius again. It's so good. It's so good. What else happened? I just, overall, I think this is such a great movie. Not movie. It's such a great TV show. I think, and then, like, the whole entire parts with the TVA were so interesting, and going more into the variant thing was so cool. I love, like, what they're doing with the TVA and how it's right when I learned about it, I was like, oh yeah, they're gonna, it's not gonna be good. They're the bad guys, but I've loved them being the bad guys so far. So much fun. I love them. This, just all of the Lokis together, even the Lokis that weren't at the end of the episode, on the last episode, as like the end credit scene, were so good. Like all of their dynamic of all the Lokis were just so much fun, and I loved all the Lokis so much. Yes, it was insane. It was absolutely insane, but I loved it. Them finding where the head of the TVA is was so cool at the end. And then they had to stop it there, and I was like, no, you can't do that to us. So I'm so excited for the finale. Like, the finale is gonna be so good. I can't wait for the finale. And just everything about it is so much fun. What else? It's just such a good TV show. I just really enjoyed everything about this episode. This episode was just so much fun to watch. I think all of the characters just worked off each other so well. And then, like, one of the Lokis dies in this episode, which was really sad. But, like, the end of, like, with their battle was so cool. But yeah, this is such a good episode. Oh, yep, Rue popped in. She liked the 5th episode a lot too. She's wearing hers silly. It's actually my mom's, but she has decided she wants to wear it even though it's huge on her. So there you saw Rue. And yeah, what were your thoughts over the show? Here. What were your thoughts over the show?
I liked it.
You liked
it? It was cool.
It was cool.
Yeah.
What, down now? There, then you could actually see her face. Yep, there she is. She likes to watch the Marvel shows with me too. And like everything, I loved how Sylvie was like, we have to go back, and Mobius was like, that's a bad idea. I thought that was so funny. It was like, and go back to the big like monster thing we just got away from. I thought that part was really funny. Just all the characters are working so well together, and I can't wait for the finale. I really hope that the finale like comes to a close, because the finale I think is gonna be like, I think it's gonna be a really good finale, and I really hope it's really good. So I'm super excited about that. It's mostly just all of the Lokis coming together and them trying to find like the head of the TVA is basically all that happens in this episode. That's like really big. So I don't really have a lot to talk about, but everything they did in this episode, I loved. This episode was hilarious. I think this show is so funny. I like the first episode's humor wasn't like, I don't think that was like the part of the first episode, but other that I loved the most. But other than that episode, I think every single episode I have absolutely loved the style of humor that they're using for Loki and how chaotic this show is, because like it's Loki and I think it's just so fun. I love these characters, and these costumes for all of the different Lokis and making them so different was done so well. I loved the costumes for the show, and especially this episode, because it would be super easy to have every Loki look exactly the same, but they don't, and I love that. But just based off their costumes, you can tell which Loki's which, and I think they just did such a good job with that. So yeah, I think it's just such a good episode. If you've not watched the Loki show, I would highly recommend this show. I think this show's so fun, and it's so chaotic, and it's a great time. If you need like a show that you can binge watch, then you should pick Loki. Basically any of the Marvel shows you would be a good thing to watch if you want to binge watch a show, because they leave every single one on a cliffhanger. But Loki's a really good choice if you're choosing between them. So yeah, that's really all I have to say. Rue, do you have anything else you want to say about the 5th episode of Loki?
That it was silly when all the Lokis were fighting and all that.
Yeah, I liked that part.
And one Loki just disappeared.
Yeah, that was kind of weird. I don't really know what happened.
We only saw him like once, and then
he just like disappeared. I wonder if he's gonna come into play in the finale, maybe. But I have no idea what's going on with this show. So everything I thought that would happen with this show has not happened. So it's so unexpected, and other than like the TVA being bad, that I expected, but I think that was the point. So yeah, that was really all I had to say about the show, and Rue said her thoughts on the show too. So I think that's where we're gonna end the video. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I love your 3000 and stay safe. Yep, there's a unicorn. Bye, guys.